Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiana, and in today's video I have a super exciting bag review for y'all. So for Christmas, a replica company that has sent me things in the past sent me a DIOR saddle bag. So I just basically got to pick whatever I wanted from their website, and that was a little Christmas present. So shout out to them, and I'm gonna have this bag and the seller linked in the description box below. But I would say very highly rated in my opinion. They shipped this super quickly and it came in perfect condition. I have already started using it because I just wanted to, you know, try it out, see what fits in it and how I was liking it before I put it on my channel for y'all to see. But before I get into it, definitely subscribe and then follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. But before I do the what's in my purse and bag review, I'm just gonna give you an overview of what the DIOR saddle bag looks like. So I got it in the black grained, I think it's grained calfskin, because they have it in this like smooth leather, and I have a smooth leather that's like YSL and it gets scratched up so easily, so I definitely prefer something with a bit of texture. It's a little bit more durable, but this is what it looks like up close. It has this little magnet thing that kind of just like shuts, but here's the side. I love the Christian Dior little hardware, and the D at the bottom is super cute. And then this is what the back of the bag looks like. It has this external pocket, and it's like a pretty decent sized pocket. Honestly, I don't have anything in there, but I could probably put like a chapstick or like some cash for like tipping and stuff. So that's what it looks like. And then here's it from the front, and this is what it looks like when I'm carrying it on my shoulder. I use this bag for New Year's Eve when I went out because I was wearing like a little black dress. So I definitely think it's the perfect going out bag size. And honestly, like, I'm super glad that a replica company offered to send me this, because I wouldn't want to spend, I think it's $3,000 for the actual like DIOR one, because it's a very like trendy bag. I would say this bag, it's not like a classic shape that's gonna be in style forever. I would say the DIOR saddle, like it was in style in I think like the 90s or something, and then it was like not in style anymore, and it's making a reappearance. But this isn't something that I would be like, oh yeah, like let me invest in that, because it's not, you know, it's not like a Chanel, it's not YSL, it's not a Louis Vuitton. It's very much like something that's in style for now, and then I feel like it'll go out of style and then come back. So it's definitely nice to have the option to spend way less money on it than, you know, like $3 grand, because that's just kind of a big commitment for a purse. So anyway, now that I've given y'all an overview, I'm just gonna show you the box that it came in. So they sent me this around Christmas time. I had it underneath my tree, and it's just so pretty. The packaging is honestly A1, and then in the bag, or in the box, we have this dust bag. It says DIOR, and then some like authenticity cards and stuff. It even has like this little thing that looks kind of like a credit card. But I was very impressed. It was like wrapped up. It had some stuffing inside so that it wouldn't lose its shape. And then all of the hardware had like a little bit of plastic on it. There's like still some tiny plastic pieces, but I just need to go ahead and like remove them later. Like if you can see that. They really did a good job at wrapping the hardware so that it wouldn't have any scratches on it. But that is it for like the unboxing portion, and now I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I like to keep in here, because this is definitely my designated going out purse, I would say, just because, you know, like since it is a replica, I'm not scared of, you know, spilling stuff on it, or like if it gets a little scratched, because I did have like, I used my YSL Lulu as my going out bag, and that one, like my parents got me that for Christmas, like they paid for that, and every time like it gets scratched, it's just like honestly annoying and like sad, because the bag was almost $3,000. So I would say if you're looking for a going out purse, like definitely a replica would be the way to go, and specifically like this company. So just keep that in mind. But usually I'll obviously like have my phone in there. This is the iPhone, I think 14 Pro Max, and it does fit in there perfectly. So this is basically what it's always containing. So I'll just go ahead and show you my going out essentials. But when you open it up, when you take out the phone, and then I have my going out lip combo in here. So that would be my Lolita liquid lipstick, and then the DIOR lip glow oil in the shade Mahogany. This is like a really nice lip combination. It stays on forever because it's a liquid lipstick. And then I always have hand sanitizer. This one's just from Bath and Body Works. It's like strawberry scented. I have some migraine medicine. Can't leave the house without that. I've never really had to use it while I've been out, but it's just like nice to have it with me. And then I have like a different migraine medicine that's like milder. So we have that. Hand cream. Hand cream is super important to me because I just like to feel hydrated and moisturized. I always have my Louis Vuitton key pouch in there. So this is basically just my wallet. I don't really have the need for like a wallet because I don't carry cash. I just have like my keys attached, and then like my driver's license and my cards and stuff. Oh my god, I have a slip satin scrunchie. I get these on Amazon. You get 6 for like 40 bucks, which is a bit astounding, but let me tell you, these are the best scrunchies that you'll ever have. And then I think, yeah, that's like it. But we have a tiny little pocket back here, and I just have one tiny little like headache medicine in there, just because, you know, I always like to make sure I have everything I might possibly need. So overall, I would say, yeah, it's like the perfect size for a going out bag because it has enough space to fit everything, but it's not like bulky. So really nice. And then this is what it looks like all empty. I think it's kind of interesting how it has like, it's the saddle shape, like, you know, like a horse saddle, but then it has these kind of two, like, I don't know what you would call that, but there's like two sides for it. And then this is what the interior looks like. I think it's suede probably. Yeah, it's like a suede interior. And then I'm just a really big fan of the grained calfskin because this can go out and like kind of get tossed around and still look brand new, in my opinion. But, you know, nice detailing on the hardware. Everything looks super crisp, and I like the little magnetic closure just so that it has something to keep this top flap down. But yeah, that is it. So there's my little chapstick that I put in there. But overall, I would say this bag for me gets like a 10 out of 10. The seller also gets a 10 out of 10. Super good at communicating. They shipped it super quickly and it came in perfect condition. So honestly, I cannot complain. But I just want to say thank you so much to them for the little Christmas present. Very much appreciated, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. So, you know, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But that is all for today, so I will see y'all next time.
Logo on it and awesome. I am so really happy with my 3 new replicas that I ordered. Hopefully I won't get sick again anytime soon, so that I'm not going and doing a ton of damage. light gold or palladium. The purling detail is also different. This one is a lot more bumpy than the one on my Hermes sangles. The edges of the cutout or the turn lock are a lot different too. This one is a lot more square on the real bag, and on this fake mini Kelly, it's more rounded. Something that I've also noted too is that the texture of the Epsom that I got and on an Hermes item I got from the store feels different than the Epsom texture on this handbag. And when I was wearing this in Orlando, Florida, the first day that I wore it out and I got sunscreen on it, a layer of some kind of coating on this Epsom rubbed off, which was disturbing. But I'm also not too terribly surprised because this is a fake handbag, which makes me even more convinced that I do not want to buy a fake now. The other thing too is that the turn locks between the real bag and the fake bag have some difference in feel, but the edges of the turn lock, like the edges of the circle itself, are more rounded than the real one, which are a lot more angular and sharpened angles. They feel boxier and more substantial. The turn lock on this one also doesn't turn as easily as my vintage Kelly, though my vintage Kelly is 58 years old, so that could be the reason for it being so loose as well. I do have to admire one detail that they did very well. They got the Epsom texture on the outside, and on the inside they have a different texture of leather, which is similar to the Chev leather that lines Hermes Kellys that are in Epsom. Because if you buy an Hermes Kelly from the store, I believe it is Epsom on the outside, and then the inside leather, it is Chev in the same color. And Chev is goat skin, so it has a different texture, and they have a goat skin texture on this. So I thought that was like a good detail that they caught. I was like, good for you. So I give you a bone for that. You look at the real one versus the fake one. The purling here is just so fake. Whenever people tell me to look at a logo to verify the Hermes bag for authenticity, I can't tell sometimes. And so I always struggle with this part. So I wouldn't rely on this alone when verifying, but it is a really big factor because it is hard to get a font perfectly right, especially when there's so many subtleties. Because if you've ever written a Word document and tried to pick a different font, you know how many different font types there are out there. So same with this. There could be minute differences in the fake that you don't detect. If you see any like quality issues with the bag itself, you know immediately that that could be a fake. And what I mean is, like, for example, this hardware has a little bit of rust and the gold has chipped off in the corner of it. Another thing that really truly alarmed me with this bag was, and I'm talking about the fake one, is that this bottom edge is just one single piece of leather.